Hi. Now, today I'll be telling you about closing. That's the mindset. Now, what does that actually mean? You see, being a closer is quite different from what you might have known. Now, being a closer, it requires mindset. It requires processing. In fact, many salespersons will tell you they are closers, but they may not be. Now, many partners may tell you that they are closers, but they may not be. But a closer, conversely, can be a partner and can be a salesperson. Now, I will be telling you the circles that make up a closer. Now, these are the processes that make a closer a closer. So, hi. Now, today I'll be telling you about closing. That's the mindset. Now, what does that actually mean? You see, being a closer is quite different from what you might have known. Now, being a closer, it requires mindset. It requires processing. In fact, many salespersons will tell you they are closers, but they may not be. Now, many partners may tell you that they are closers, but they may not be. But a closer, conversely, can be a partner and can be a salesperson. Now, I will be telling you the circles that make up a closer. Now, these are the processes that make a closer a closer. So let's start. Now, let's start with number one. Now, the first one that you want to go before the circles go around, it is the influencer. Now, every closers are influencers. Why are they so? Or why is it so? Why is it so? Is because you see, being a closer gives you leverage. It allows opportunity to come to you, not you pursuing opportunities. Now, salespeople, on the other hand, what they want to do is they want to pressurize people. They are kind of desperate. They want to get people from getting money out of people. You know, they want to just make the sales, make the landmark. But the truth is, closers aren't like that, and they don't suffocate. They don't suffocate prospects. Rather, it is prospects that come to them because they know they are the face of an industry. So that's why every closers are influencers. Now, take a look at Mark Zuckerberg. When Mark Zuckerberg was growing up, he actually built he built his reputation along the line. He started his worth along the line. In fact, before he turned 19, he was making syntax that AOL, that is American Online, what they actually valued. Companies began to look down who was very useful for the digital space. And in his share account, he was putting in like, I'm a programmer god, like no one could beat. In order to mesmerize people, when he got into Harvard University, he was able to shut down hostels. Who does that? He was able to shut down the male hostel, the female hostel. He was able to make sure that he brought in a kind of a website whereby a mini website whereby people in the hostel can actually come together and see competition, face competition. That time he named it face match, and from face match people were liking, is it bushy hair or is it a long hair, whatsoever it could be. Now that was what gave it fame in Harvard. And guess what, when he was starting Facebook, the influence actually brought the Windows brother to come over to Harvard to look for him, and after sorting out for him, they were able to tell him the idea of what they thought Facebook should be, and he came out with it. And on February 2004, he launched out Facebook, and Facebook became global. Now, what actually brought that? It was influence. Aside from that, Sean Parker, who was the CEO of Napster aside then, he was the CEO of Facebook as well too. In 2006, even when Yahoo wanted to buy Facebook in January, and Mark Zuckerberg declined, Napster was the one, like Napster CEO, that was Sean Parker, was the one that was taking him from one investor to another, and they were able to invest. And what gave them the assurance that it was going to soar? And that was because in the early days, the first 6 months after launching out the program, two-thirds of Harvard University students enrolled, and over 3 million subscribers. Now think about that. That is influence. That is a massive influence on people. Now it grew exponentially, and investors were able to put in money, and within 1 year it had already garnered over $27 million into the company's account. Now he wasn't using big men, he was using youngsters as it were. But that was then. Now that's talking about influence. You see, after you've grown your influence, you've stagnant, you become so exceptional at what you do. Now think of niche. From influence you go to niche. Now niche, it is you crafting out an area in the industry that you want to be specialized on, that when people look at you, when people think of something, they want to think of you. Now what are they thinking of? Now have you used Dropbox before? Now you saw how weird it is. You put in files from different, they have wide files, and when you bring them together, it actually saves automatically without you going through stresses and the rest. Now when the when when our desk was looking forward to having investors, he went to Silicon Valley venture capitalists. They looked at it and were like, sorry, don't we have software that can do as much as this? He was like, although there were, but there wasn't none that can actually fit into what he has. Now they thought it was weird. Now they weren't actually investing because they thought if it was actually damn good, people would have actually entered and they would have gotten the money that they were looking at in prospect, but it wasn't actually getting it. So now the fact that they didn't get it, that made him to go into the community who he belonged, and he screen recorded the. So Jess was able to screen recorded the software. He gave an illustration of how the software would work, and he posted it in the community because he had a 5,000 subscriber in the community, and when they saw it, it grew to 75,000 subscribers. And guess what? Dropbox is one of the most valuable products that Silicon Valley ever invested into. Now that's that. You see, the first thing that our desk did was that he first got that influence. It was the influence that gave him leverage into carving a niche. So even when he carved the niche and the venture capitalists weren't actually seeing the idea or seeing the prospect or the futuristic of the product, it was being the figure in that name that made him to be so reasonable and make it to be so enticing to them. Now, from there, from the